rather than focusing on the uncontrollables in our life, focusing on the opportunities and the path that we have in front of us.
So what made you want to get this?
Man, I wanted to get this tattoo to spread awareness and to allow people to be confident in knowing that they're allowed to express who they are and how they feel, and to recognize that they ain't doing this alone, you know? We've had a lot of people, we lost a lot of good people, a lot of good people struggle every single day, and I don't think there's a lot of awareness from especially men who feel like they can't open up or talk about things. And I felt like if I was to represent this or to have this on my flesh, that more people would be confident enough to deal with their situations in a proper manner.
Everybody needs somebody, man.
Yeah. And I have no shame, and I'm not embarrassed of anything. And I feel like a lot of people hold what they're going through to themselves, and that's fine, but at some point in time, man, you need to rely on people. We need to realize that we're all in this together, and we all have the same doubts, fears, and insecurities. So
I recently used to just bottle everything up, bro. I used to just try and hide it and, just put on a smile throughout the day, every day. But recently I've been, kind of expressing everything, talking about everything to, people that matter to me. And I realize it really just helps a lot.
yeah, bottling it in. Like when I bottle things in, what I've realized is that you can only bottle in for so long, and then next thing you know, you just explode,
And it eats you alive, bro.
eat you alive, and you end up exploding or like acting out of character or doing more harm to yourself and the people you care about and your name and your reputation than you would just sitting down and journaling or talking to yourself or finding the correct people to talk to. And you want to find yourself with people who agree with you, but you also need to have those people in your life who you could be open with them and they're going to tell you the honest truth.
Give you a non-biased
Yeah, a non-biased opinion.
An outsider.
Yeah. Because if they're your homie or your homegirl or whatever, and you're talking to them about stuff, they're going to, of course, try to say the best answer to not hurt your feelings or to put you in a more vulnerable position, but you need that honesty, you need that non-bias,
I'd rather be told the truth
Yeah, facts.
than just what's good for me,
Exactly.
for sure.
And I'm a big believer in the truth, man. Even if the truth hurts, like, I'd rather hear the truth and know the truth than be lied to.
Every day.
Every day. And, I think a big thing, too, is a lot of times we put our trust and our faith into sometimes the wrong people. And those people could easily take advantage of that or manipulate it. And those times that you struggle and you go through something, it really opens the door for the people who really have your back, The people who you turn off your phone for 2-3 days, or you go silent, or they know something's wrong and they haven't talked to you in 24 hours. They're calling your phone, they're checking on you, they're asking if you're okay, they're texting you, see if you're making it home, they're checking your location, like like I said in the last one, don't really worry about too much of the people who aren't there, and just appreciate the ones who are. Because everyone wants, that ideal, perfect friendship, relationship, whatever, where it's like in the movies where it seems perfect, but no one's perfect, and our realities are all so different, bro. And we all deal with things differently. So those hard times and those struggles really expose, who's really there for you.
So since the last interview that we had, what's new with life?
Man, what's new with life? I would say a better perspective on reality. And I feel like the last interview, I was going through some more difficult things, but now I'm in a position where I've had to really learn some patience and compassion for myself, and a better understanding that I can only control so much of my own reality. And just a better acknowledgement of the position I'm in and where I want to go and what I have to do to get there. Because before I was kind of just wilding. I was kind of just going with the flow, doing whatever I felt like it was right, and maybe I was distracting myself with some temporary pleasures. But now I'm in emotion, I'm getting older, in a different mindset where I realize that you have to put the pleasure aside sometimes, and you have to make a harder decision for yourself to grow into a better path. Other than that, just life in general, family, and the relationships I built from the last one have just grown, and I've really got to see like who's sitting at my table for me, rather than people who just want to sit at the table to get a free meal.
Nice.
Yeah. And also just like more like brand awareness for not only myself, but like locals only, yourself, even Colby, and realizing, because I know Colby's done it too, where when I first met Colby, we were both wildin', and the dudes that we were before is like so far away from who we are now and who we want to be in the future. And I think we both, along with the people we've associated ourselves with, have like a clearer vision of what we need to do to get to where we want to be.
There's been a lot of self-growth since then.
Yeah.
A lot. I mean, there's been a lot more hard times since then also. But I mean, at the end of the day, we're trying to work it all out and conquer it just for the better of ourselves. Because, I mean, no matter how rough it gets, like your story isn't over.
Exactly.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel, and through every rainy day, there's that sunshine that's gonna shine through the clouds.
Yeah, it's also just taught me how, like, in those difficult times and stuff, like, instead of focusing on all that negativity or trying to focus on the bad, which is hard, like, really taking a deep breath, taking a step back, taking more time for myself.
Looking at like all the positive things.
Yeah, like, man, I'm healthy. I got a healthy family, making good money, bunch of opportunities. So, like, rather than focusing on the uncontrollables in our life, focusing on the opportunities and the path that we have in front of us.
Never take your health for granted.
Hell no.
A lot of people out here that struggle with a lot of, hardships with their health, and there's always someone else that's got it worse than you, and you just gotta kind of take a step back and realize that, whatever you're going through, someone else is still striving that has it 10 times worse than you.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
And the health's the big one. I used to be 400 pounds. I got down to 175. I was at 200 for a while, and then this past year, my own downfalls, I would use food as an escape or a vice, and I got a little bit bigger in life, but even just recently, the last couple of weeks, just realizing that, like, you have to take accountability for yourself. And one of the biggest things I learned since that last interview was the power of forgiveness. The ability to first forgive yourself and forgive others. Don't forget what they did or what went down, but you gotta just also forgive them and realize that if you're going through something, they're going through something, and people aren't perfect and they handle it in poor ways. We all do. And so you just gotta take accountability for yourself at the end of the day.
It's important. I mean, it's not just mental health, it's also your physical health. Like, me personally, I've gone through a lot of really crazy health problems. Like, I'm currently on chemo right now, and it kind of makes me enjoy my time here on Earth, because tomorrow's really not promised. And you never really know. But it kind of helps you appreciate the little things. And, especially like if you're going through some hard times, but you also have health problems. It's like, damn, is it really that bad?
Yeah.
Compared to the other things you got going on in life. And I just went through a phase to where, my health's not good at all. But my mental health was even worse. And, I kind of had to refocus and kind of get back to bettering my physical health because I was putting my mental health in front of it. It was just really taking a toll on me. And my mental health also really affects my physical health. You know, if you're sitting there stressed out about some bullshit, you know, you're not going to feel good. You're not going to feel healthy. You're not going to be in tip-top shape.
Yeah, and your performance, your art, your craft, your path, your motivation, like it all affects it, you know. Like there'd be times where I'd be struggling with some stuff and I'd like show up to work and I'd be more mad at myself for like not bringing like the best version of myself to a show or to a gig or to an event, and that'd make me more mad at the end of the day. I mean, I'd be like, man, why did I waste all that extra time on this delusion, or why did I waste so much time being sad when there was a purpose and I had an obligation and a task to perform at my highest level at.
Yeah, for me it was more just being selfish, you know, like just
Yeah.
you know, moping around, being depressed when I had bigger things to worry about, you know, like I'm sitting here going through all these actual health issues, but I'm more worried about, you know, what I got going on in my head, which really wasn't as important, you know, and I kind of put my physical health on the back burner and I let it get really, really bad, just because, you know, I was worried about the bullshit that didn't matter, you know, because my mental health just wasn't all there at the moment.
Yeah, I've also realized, like, I used to use, like, either going out or drinking or partying or hanging out with friends as, like, a vice to escape from reality, but one thing I've been really trying to pride myself on this past year is, like, really sitting with the emotions or the feelings or the actions and really, like, sitting there with myself and, like, taking time to myself, like, take 3 days off, turn off my phone, or even just don't get on social media, or just spend time alone or with the family or the people who do matter and the people who really do know who you are, because if you do that, you're not only going to learn more about yourself, but you're going to build that inner strength to, like, be like, okay, if I could do this, I overcame this shall pass too. Like, everything moving forward needs to be a little bit lighter and brighter and happier.
There's always hope.
Always.
Even when you don't feel it, there's always hope. Because, like, there is a bigger picture. There really is.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it you might not see it, but you just got to keep telling yourself, remembering that there is a bigger picture. There's, you know, there's a plan for you.
Yeah.
And it's bigger than selfishness.
No. And just, like, realizing, too, that, like, with every bad opportunity or anything that happens in your life, like, if you take that time to take a step back and to really focus on where you want to go, like, the amount of doors that open up, you know, they always say 1 door closes, 100 doors open, and I've really had to learn that firsthand this past year. And there was people that I didn't want to lose and that I wanted to take with me, and I wanted them to sit at the table with me, but, you know,
They're all not good for you.
yeah, but I realized is that their spots were reserved for somebody else.
Now, some of them are good for you.
Yeah.
Not all of them.
And those ones that are good, man, you just got to roll with the punches and really take, like, a third-party aspect to it and understand what they're going through and realize that, you know, it's all going to be a struggle at times, but as long as it doesn't destroy you, like, you just keep pushing, you know? And even if it does destroy you, get up again. Get up and roll.
I love that. I love that. Why do y'all think life is beautiful, even after all the hell that we go through?
Man, you know, like, me personally, like, I'll sit back and I'll look at my family and, like, realize, because I'm the oldest of my family, and one thing that really keeps me kind of grounded is seeing them succeed, watching, like, my little brother succeed in his path, watching my sister be happy, and, like, watching my family had a bunch of struggles like everyone else, but, like, watching my mom overcome, and she became a nurse at, like, 41, you know, went back to school and everything. Now she's teaching other nurses how to be nurses, and she's always so happy and positive. And so when I see her or see my dad happy, or I talk to my grandma, both my grandfathers passed away, but when I talk to them and know that they're going through things that I can't even fathom or even been a part of, and, like, hearing them be happy and want to grow and continue to level up in their own path, like it motivates me to do the same. And I think there's beauty in the pain, and there's like something really righteous about taking what you've had and not allowing it to allow you to be covered in mud and stay dirty, but realize that you could take all those hits, you could get dirty, you could play in the mud, but you could also just clean yourself off and get back up and do something else.
I think that success is what makes life beautiful, because it gives you that drive, it gives you that motivation, just to keep going, and that like your story's not over. Like we're only on chapter 1.
Yeah.
Like you have a whole book, and these people need to read your book, and I mean, there is the option to close that book, but I mean, you just gotta keep it open and keep going and striving, and I think that's a big motivator. And then it's just a beautiful thing, like to sit there and strive and reach your goals and become successful. After at one point maybe you wanted to, just give up, quit trying. But once you strive and you continue to be successful, you realize, damn, I could have missed out on all this.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have all those beautiful moments, and man, I could have not been here.
Yeah.
And I think that's when you kind of pause and you take a look and you're like, I'm glad I'm still here. And that's what makes it a beautiful thing.
And sometimes I'm not trying to be egotistical or prideful, but one thing I'm trying to like really wrap my head around is I think everyone deserves success, and I think everyone deserves that great life, but I also believe that not everyone is necessarily destined for it, and it takes a select few and a mindset that is hard to obtain, and that's why the amount of people who are successful is less than the people who aren't. Like those people had to take everything on the chin themselves and grow in their own manner.
Is that it?
That's it.
That was quick and painless. Fire. Maniacs for life, baby.